But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
They don't have.
Alrighty then. Yeah, looks like we're live now.
Lame.
Anyways, man.
What you got going on? Was my shit lagging out?
Nah, everything's good.
Okay.
So, yeah, dude, I showed this one yesterday on the live stream and all, but I just wanted you to see exactly what happened on this one. This one's pretty fucking crazy, to be honest. That's why I said, dude, Twitter is a cesspool, but sometimes you will find just some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's
go
go
ahead and play it. Yeah, I'm ready.
Gotcha. Damn.
Oh. Ah.
Damn, caught him in everything.
He's fucking totally knocked out too, dude.
Yeah, dude. He would have been done for.
Oh, God is good, man.
We'll just shoot.
What a badass motherfucker, dude. Holy shit.
Dude. That shit's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that was... talk about fucking clutch moves.
Dude, and after he got hit, I couldn't even tell where the fuck the dude's body went, man. Like, it was gone.
Right.
And in that much sky, it's, I mean, like, alright, see if you can keep an eye on where he is exactly when he fucking gets hit. I'm guessing that's him right there. No, never mind, I lost him.
In the very teeth, he just went up to the top, yeah.
Yeah, he's, because he comes flying down a bit.
He's coming from underneath.
There he is,
like
yeah.
Yeah, like he's gonna catch him.
And even that...
Yeah, he didn't want to undershoot him.
Dude, even that catch is dangerous, man, because if he had hit the wrong way, he could have knocked him out, too.
Hey. Yeah. What a bad motherfucker, dude. That is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Huh, dude, that's what I meant.
You know, I mean, it's scary, but just so awesome that guy.
That's what I mean, man. That shit was crazy, man. I couldn't even believe that. I was just like, fuck. This one I showed yesterday, but I'll show you this one later on, because this one, well, I got a copyright strike for it, but either way, dude, these dudes were walking down with their pit bulls, and there was a cat in front, and they sicked their pit bulls on the cat. Did I show you that one?
No, shit, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, this one's fucked up, dude, especially because right afterward, these two dudes are just like, good boy, sick him, and they're going crazy until the owner comes out. Now,
oh, they got him. They got those guys today. That's the Buddy the cat.
Oh, they caught him?
They got him.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, let me go ahead and look that up here in a bit so I can see him. I just don't know if you actually saw the video, but it's pretty gruesome. So I'm just gonna put a graphic warning first for anybody who's watching. Although I don't. It says we have one viewer right now, so. But yeah, this video is fucked, man.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Look at this asshole right here, dude.
Oh yeah, the dude's cat was just out front, and I would have fucking shot him, dude.
Dude, straight up, if
you
I
get shot for that, or if you pulled that shit around here, you would have got fucking shot.
Yeah, if you pulled that shit in my state, you would have been shot too.
With your two dogs off their leash attacking their cat, I mean that's
like
you're dead.
I can
ain't nobody going to jail for it. You're just gonna be fucking hauled off on the meat wagon with your two and your two idiot dogs are gonna get thrown in a fucking
yeah, dude, honestly, and straight up, man, like The problem is this occurred in
like,
Philadelphia.
If I'd heard that, looked out my door, and seen what was happening, and then they were doing nothing, I would have came out shooting. I would have shot the dogs, and I would have shot the guy immediately.
Exactly, man. And
I think that would have been the appropriate response to that
I'm
situation.
pretty sure in both of our states that's completely legal. However, remember this this happened in Pennsylvania, in fact Philadelphia, which is why I'm guessing a Soros DA is going to end up coming out and letting these two fuckheads go. So I'm gonna.
They're gonna get nothing.
I'm gonna have to. Let me see if I can find the. Let me see if I can find the news article where it shows that they got caught. Shouldn't be that hard. Let me see. "4 days ago, 54 minutes ago." Oh, damn. There's another one of a woman getting viciously attacked by a dog in an apartment lift. Let me see if I can find it. I can't seem to... Let me just put Philly Pitbull attack. Guys caught or some shit like that. Damn, I'm finding all sorts of pit bulls attacked, but nothing on those. But yeah, dude, if you were here in Texas and you had pulled that shit,
I think in most places, like I just speaking from my experience and dealing with the fucking idiocy around here, I mean, pit bulls were banned here for a long time, and like they unbanned them, and then dog attacks went up by it was like 300% or like 280%, and then there hadn't been like an actual death from a dog, and since the pit bulls got banned, and then they had like the first death in like 8 years or some shit like that.
And here's the shitty thing, man. Pit bulls, if you raise them correctly, are some of the sweetest dogs you'll run into, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not, nothing about you, no one in this world, not even the fucking dog whisperer, no one is special enough of a person or is going to make a special enough of a bond with a puppy that is of a bloodline that has DNA in it that's been coded to kill other living things for not just a couple decades, not 1, 2, 3 generations, for hundreds and even thousands of years in some cases.
It depends on the lineage, too.
It does not. There's not. Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to override 2,000 years of the genetic coding of dogs. Why did people didn't have dogs for any reason other than to protect the family and their property for 2,000 years? That's why people had dogs. And all of a sudden, we think we're going to take these dogs that were selected because of their viciousness, because of their strength and their ability to, survive dangerous encounters. We think we're just going to take that programming out of them. It's never going to happen. The main issue is with dogs like pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, German Shepherds, Akitas, Chows. When they smell human blood, there's like a hormone or something. There's some kind of response that happens in their brain.
Yeah.
One of the ones people don't ever mention and don't ever talk about. If you look at a lot of pit bull attacks, look at the owner. Who is the owner? The owner will be a female a lot of times. And I'll tell you what, there's 3 different times I've heard the same fucking story. 3 different people. Oh, the sweetest pit bull. Raised them for so long.
Yeah.
And they almost killed somebody when their owner, who was a female, was on her period. And it was another male who was around. And they seen them as a competition and literally tried to rip their throat. The one almost killed my buddy. He was lucky because what was it he had in his hands? They had come back from something, and the dog was in the back of the car. The dog tried to bite his throat, but he was holding something up like next to his head, and seen the dog lunge at him, so he's able to push the thing into the dog's mouth because the dog was literally about to rip his throat out out of nowhere, totally unprovoked. There was nothing going on. They were literally sitting in the car, parked, talking, and the dog had rode in the back, was fine the whole time. But that was the one thing that they came to the conclusion of too, was that she was on her period. And that dog went fucking ballistic out of nowhere.
The amount of energy they can detect is unbelievable. The amount of energy dogs can detect in humans is just unfathomable, dude. All the way from PTSD dogs to seizure dogs to the blind seeing eye dogs. I mean, like I said, man, I've always thought God dogs were a gift from God to humanity to help us get through this fucked up journey called life.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, dogs are definitely they're awesome, but giving these fucking toothless fucking morons free range to bring and have as many pit bulls as they want and no oversight. These dogs are killing machines. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, Akitas. I'm not just talking about one.
Well, they're guard
German
dogs.
Shepherds, no, they're killers. These are killers. These are dogs that have the ability very easily to kill a large percentage of the population if they were to come up on that individual and the individual was not aware that they were about to be attacked. That's the reality of it.
Did I ever
That
tell
is
you?
you can't deny it.
Yeah.
People need to be trained and to the point that they can also be held accountable. Because if you're going to have a dog like that, more power to you. That's great. But don't think you're going to leave that dog unattended. Don't think you're going to be able to abuse or neglect that dog and not have repercussions. And that's the problem.
It's like Joe Biden's
so many
dog,
people
dude.
get away with it.
Joe Biden, they gave him a puppy when he when he won the election, and it was a fucking German Shepherd, and they're getting complaints constantly, and I mean constantly, about Secret Service members getting bitten by that fucking dog. Now, do I blame that on the dog? No, not necessarily, because I've met some sweet German Shepherds before, but Joe Biden is not in his right mind to be training a dog such as a German Shepherd at all.
Right. Well, and I mean, that's the thing, dude. It does come, I mean, a lot of it does come down to the owner. Well, what it comes down to is the responsibility of the owner, because it's not like these pit bulls are attacking kids. The kids aren't jumping into the pit bulls' yards, okay?
Yeah.
The kids aren't chasing the pit bull down the street. And going fucking 2 neighborhoods away to attack a pit bull. That's not happening. It is the pit bull going out and do that. It's the German Shepherd. And a lot of times, too, another one that's overlooked that's a high rate of attacks is golden retrievers. They're actually, my dad got mauled by a golden retriever when he was a kid.
Oh, shit.
Honestly,
I never knew that, dude. That's the first I've heard of that.
It was a family dog, too. Yeah. You can look up those stats. But that's another thing too. When you look at the mainstream stats that are available on dog attacks, the numbers are fudged very badly, because if you go in and look on a municipal or a county level at the statistics and not what's just been amalgamated on Google, you'll see there's a large difference, because the statistics they put don't count for a dog that's not considered like a certified purebred pit bull, American bulldog, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So if they're 75% or they're 25%, they don't go on the fucking list for attacks, and it makes it look like pit bulls are 100% innocent. And they are the highest rate of attack. I mean, it's like pit bulls, German Shepherds, Rottweilers.
It's like I was saying, man, a lot of it has to do with the breeding, because one of the problems with pit bulls as they were grown is that there was a lot of inbreeding going on, and it started making them mentally unstable.
But and what I'm saying about it is, though, with the breeding, is we're not going to fix this problem with breeding over the next 20 years or the next 100 years. The breeding will have to take place and have to be consistent,
it'd have to go on for another 2,000. It'd have to go on for another about 400 or 500 years before we could get rid of that.
It would only take a couple hundred years for there to be noticeable changes, because they have to adapt to it. The DNA is like got to recognize, and the DNA prioritizes things, prioritizes the parts of the brain and chemicals and shit that are going to be produced, and like that's what you're basically conditioning the DNA to go into a more regressive or passive. I get it would be regressive, because nature is survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Is so many people like, well, it's how you raise them. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter how you raise them at all. I mean, not at all. That's gonna matter when it comes down to the capability of a dog to maul somebody to death unprovoked. It does not matter how you raise them. That can happen with any dog at any time. They can have brain tumors and shit you don't know about. They have degenerative neural diseases. That's like with chows. One of the reasons why chows have a high rate of attack is because they're raised and bred to attack strangers, things that they do not recognize the smell or the sight of, right? Well, when they go crazy, and what happens when they go crazy and they can't recognize their owners or their own family? Well, then they'll bite them too. Is that the chow's fault? No.
No, not at all.
That's just how they are.
But there are some dogs who just don't like kids around, dude.
Well, exactly. That's like my friend who had an Akita. That dog was always there was always supervision with that dog. He knew that if that dog got out and attacked anybody, he would go to fucking jail because he had to, he was registered. It was a trained fucking bad motherfucking dog. But he was also very responsible with it. And that's the thing. I want to see that same kind of accountability, responsibility, and training go into pit bulls, go into German shepherds, go into Rottweilers, go into Dobermans. So people are aware. So when somebody gets fucked up because they got too drunk and let their dog out of the fucking house and went and mauled somebody, they need to be held fucking accountable for that. I don't care if you want to fucking get drunk. If you own a dog and you have a responsibility and you shirk your responsibility because of a drug, then you should be held accountable for the damages that you were for the responsible party.
Oh, no doubt, dude. It's
you were responsible for the dog. Whatever he fucked up, you're accountable for.
It's like accidentally shooting somebody, dude. Ultimately, you had responsibility over the
dog. A dog is a million times, dude. A dog's a million times more dangerous than a gun. You know why? Because you can put a gun in a safe. You can lock a gun up. You can take the bullets out of a gun.
Dogs.
You can't do that with a dog.
Yeah,
you got to keep them on a leash. If they're off the leash and they're not being, and they're not trained properly, how are you going to stop them from mauling somebody, by nicking an artery and killing somebody within a minute?
And even guns, dude, it comes down to the self-control of the owner. But dogs, you're never in their mind.
A gun requires somebody to load it, cock it, aim it, point and pull a trigger.
Exactly.
With a dog, you don't have that. So what you have to do is compensate. And that is to make sure your dog never gets out. If you got to buy a fucking harness and have a special fucking leash or whatever, if you have to pay for special training. And if you can't, then you need to liquidate the dog, liquidate by get rid of the dog for a very cheap price to somebody who has the facilities and has the money to maintain the animal.
Some dogs just aren't even meant to be confined in the spaces they're confined to. In fact, the majority of dogs nowadays are confined to such a small space. I feel really sorry for them, man. I mean, can you imagine being kept in a bedroom your entire life, or even just within your house your entire life, not be able to leave?
Yeah. And even then, only ever being able to be walked on a leash down some sidewalks, never feeling the mud or the water or the trees or the the briars, thorns and shit. Like these dogs are meant to run and be wild. They're hardy, sturdy creatures, and what's sad is everybody wants a guard dog when they live in the city because criminals are generally, fearful of dogs. It's a deterrent, right?
Yeah, big time.
And all I'm asking for in that is just like with guns, is more just personal responsibility with it. Personal responsibility, not public responsibility, personal responsibility, which means that's your dog and you need to know fucking what it's capable of, and you need to make sure you're taking the steps to, keep everyone safe, keep yourself safe, keep the dog safe, your neighbors and their pets and other animals. Like it's not a game. People, it's the problem is dogs get treated like fucking Instagram or Facebook. The way people treat that, it's just a fucking show. It doesn't, and that's the saddest thing because I see a lot of people who don't really care about their dogs.
Dude. There are people who will leave them in the back. They won't feed them. They just, dude. Sometimes when I see people doing that to dogs, I'm just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Like, at least treat the dog like part of your family because they're part of your pack.
Yes.
The dog considers you part of their pack.
That's the way I see it. Okay, so look at it like this. If you got a dog, pit bull, whatever, it does not matter. You got a dog that's capable of harming somebody, right? And because of your neglect, and not necessarily neglect of the dog, but you neglect your responsibilities, the dog gets out and mauls somebody. Okay, so let's look at it like this. What if you had a family member who had dementia or was mentally ill and you knew they had to be watched and you shirked your duty watching them and they got out and they hurt somebody? You're probably not going to be held accountable, but that person's going to be put in a mental institution. And that's what I'm saying, too, the family link. That dog is like your family. Would you let your crazy old grandmother wander around and just forget about her because you fucking were too busy doing something? That's what I'm saying. Should people be afforded more leniency with an animal? That's they can be they're very dangerous. Dogs, it does not matter what breed.
Now,
obviously, even the smaller ones can give you fucking terrible fucking infections and diseases and shit.
Dude, so even Chihuahuas are some of the most fucking vicious dogs. Like they don't care how big you are. They don't care how tough you look. They will fuck you up. And I mean, it's a little dog, so fortunately they can't do much, but they could still definitely leave infections. They can leave some pretty bad fucking scars and bites on you. And I mean, I had a friend back in the day whose his stepdad owned a wolf, 99% wolf, which I'm not sure how that happens, but the guy was basically full blown wolf. And yeah, you couldn't let him around strangers, man, because this dude, the guy who owned him, he picked him up as a puppy. So naturally, the puppy looks at him as his alpha male, or the dog, even no matter how old it got, looked at him as the alpha male, and it worked. But if you brought strangers around, yeah, you'd have to be careful with that fucking thing because it bit a lot of people. Good dog, man. And wolves howls are it really trips me out how loud they are. The howl from a wolf is unbelievably fucking louder than a bark, man. Now, one last thing I did want to say before we move on from this pit bull thing. Now I can't be 100% sure about this because I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, but I cannot remember. Pit bulls were originally bred in China, and they were actually bred as the guard dogs for the nurseries because they would raise the puppies up from they would raise the puppies up to be nice to children, but then the dogs would suddenly become very protective of the children, of the infants, of the newborns.
Huh. Yeah, I mean that sounds like probably a pretty good amount of whitewashing. I'm sure it's at least, a good amount true. But the reality with pit bulls is that most of their generational breeding over the last like 400 or 500 years has been for like wild hog and boar hunting and shit.
Oh, this was like 2,000 years ago, though, dude. This is like 2,000,
Right, yeah.
1,000 years ago.
Well,
It was a while
I mean,
back.
the DNA is obviously, fuck, they're basically a dog by now. But that is, that is something that's interesting for sure. I mean, I'd like to see any kind of real evidence of, what evidence they have to support those claims. Uh, but yeah, because pretty much everything you look up when any civilization and their their war dogs, that's what they were, war dogs. Like dogs were you can call it a violence companion. If you had to deal with violence, you had your dog with you, and your dog would, you got attacked by some highwaymen trying to get over to the next town or whatever. Like, that's what
Yep.
you had a dog for. Dogs they were always meant as a deterrent for violence, but also something that could be violent and put itself in danger so that you don't have to. And
Gotcha.
that's the thing that gets forgotten about these animals. We didn't just like snatch a fucking wolf puppy. I mean, who knows? Could have been a situation when it comes to the domestication of them where there was a mutual predator between man and dog, and we realized that there could be a symbiotic relationship that helped us defeat this predator. And who knows? It could have been big cats, could have been the last of the saber tooths. But and maybe that's why dogs and cats have such an aversion, is because the ancient cats that were obviously a lot bigger, got fucking run into the jungle and forced to evolve into smaller forms, because they were getting their ass handed to them by humans and dogs, canines. So I mean, and that's a theory, but that's what I'm saying is like the history of any specific species DNA is just so um intricate. It's just there's just so much complexity to it and factors to consider. But it is. I think it's one thing people should talk about more too, is the importance of DNA and what it is and what makes people different and how do they come to those traits. Uh, those are questions you don't hear people asking a lot or talking about a lot, because most of what the evidence we have is conjecture. But that's what I've noticed too with this particular thing, particularly with DNA of all species. It seems like there's a lot of stuff accepted as fact when there are definitely like plenty of what they'd say are things are anomalous. But when you look into it on an even broader, longer spectrum, it's not. There's so much when it comes to that. I guess like I guess you could call it archaeological or just ancient fucking fossils or whatever. Um, there's just so much that goes into it, there's so much we don't fucking know. But it's crazy how much we have learned. But it's pieces of a puzzle that we're trying to say what the whole puzzle looks like. We've only got 15% of the pieces, and you can have a general idea, but the exact details, you can only theorize.
All right, so this is one. I know I've shown this one before, but I never get enough of this fucking video, dude. And this is why. Our military going woke is really starting to piss me off because they're trying to get rid of people exactly like the fucking guy who's in this video. And you'll see what I mean when I play it, man. Like, it's a pretty intense video, but it's badass. So let me go ahead and, we'll go and play.
Hey, shoot him! Oh, shit. Suicide bomber! Suicide bomber! Shit! Oh, shit!
Oh, damn.
That was awesome!
Exactly, dude.
Fuck you!
And I've broken this video down, man. For one, those are the kind of people they're trying to eliminate from our military with, you know, with these mandates, with trying to introduce woke ideology into it and everything. I don't want those fuckers on the battlefield. I'd rather have this dude who sees a suicide bomber and then after it blows up, he's like, oh, shit. And here's the funny thing about this video, because it's an improvised vehicle, it's an improvised explosive vehicle, and he's driving towards them. Well, they send more than they send more than one rocket after this dude, and one of them hits him from behind, and that's when the car loses control, and that's when somebody launches a second one, and it blows him the fuck up. So just keep that in mind. Look.
Hey, shoot him! Oh, shit. Suicide bomber! Suicide bomber! Oh, shit! Oh, shit,
Oh.
that was awesome! Fuck yes! Fuck you!
Fuck, man.
Exactly, dude. That shit's crazy, dude. I never get tired of watching that fucking video because it's just like, dude, this is how our militants should be. You know, I don't care about fear or anything, but once you're in the midst of battle, I want you thinking clear and I want you being able to handle the situation. You know, PTSD, when you get away from battle, is a whole different story because you're having to adjust to living in a war zone to having to adjust to living, you know, in normal society, which I know is very hard. I've met lots of people who are exactly like that.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it's there's guys you know, who can run and hike 40, 50 miles with 80, 120 pounds of fucking gear, fight and see people die and get fucking shot and burnt and beat up themselves and do that for years, you know, do it on multiple tours, and then they come back here and it's the hardest thing for them just to work a job and like maintain, you know, pay their bills and maintain themselves. Like they don't even know how to handle it because it's so fucking different to have to be a part of that, to be in actual combat and in that combat for an extended period of time, trying to adjust your body back into it, you know, adjust your body back into regular civilian life is just a daunting task.
Gotcha.
Not that there's people who can't, you know, not that there's a lot of people who can't, but dude, there is a lot of veterans who are coming back and they just fucking can't do it. We got to figure out how to. Yeah, I do remember that.
Did you ever see it? The whole video?
Yeah, I've watched it.
All right, then. Yeah, then we'll skip over that one, and I guess we'll just,
Yeah, and say he sounds like a fucking raving moron.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. And whatever. We'll get to the whole Trump stuff a little bit later for right now. I want to see what's going on in this InfoWars, story concerning Utah and the lawmakers overriding the governor's veto. Because, dude, this whole situation, man, of chicks joining, of men joining chick sports is just fucking stupid, man.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And I hear people who are just like, oh, well, you're being a transphobe because you don't want them in there. I'm like, no, I don't want them in there because it's clearly a huge advantage. I don't care if you grow
I have a massive
18
biological
years.
advantage.
Yeah, 18 years with testosterone, dude. Can you imagine that with a chick?
If they took those hormones and then laid in bed and atrophied their muscles for like a year and a half and then came back with normal hormones, that might work.
And
But
even then, dude,
because you lose bone density, and you got to lose the bone density, and I think that's the biggest thing, dude. They need to find a way to measure the bone density and the muscle density, and whether you're male or female biologically, X, Y doesn't matter. Have a fucking limit with the bone density and the muscle density for the female, quote unquote female competition. And when these guys show up and their muscles and their bones are too dense, then they've got to go back. If you want to come compete in women's sports, you can't go disappear for 2 or 3 years and be like, oh, I'm a woman. No, you're going to end up taking 10 or 12 years to come back and compete in that if you're already a grown-ass man who's competed at an adult fucking level at these sports. It's ridiculous. If they want him to be a part of it, then there should be some way of measuring to make it fair, and that'd be a great way to do it. Would be like bone density and muscle density.
I already have a way you can fix it,
muscles are too dense. It's
like straight up at this point, because they keep mixing up the word man and woman, and they keep trying to come up with all these stupid fucking definitions, dude. All this Marxism crap. I think we should make it simple. These guys are the ones who trust the science, no matter what, right? So they ought to have an X chromosome and then an XY chromosome league, and then that way there is absolutely no way around it.
Right, yeah. I mean that if that's what it has to be broken down to, it's very simple. But I'm saying there's a way to do it, to beat the current fucking legislation and bullshit. Because you're talking about something that was just gonna be that's 30, 40 years down the road if that's gonna happen. It's gonna have to be pressured for that to happen. But right now, something that they can't argue. Something that they can't really argue against is like, let's see. We can measure bone density, we can measure muscle density, and we can go ahead and say that anyone over these parameters is not really they're not competing. They're not able to compete physically as a female because we know the average bone and muscle density of a female. That's another reason you can tell when a woman's on fucking steroids, because look at her muscle and her fucking bone density.
Dude, look at the 1970s German, the women's swim team from Germany back in the 70s. They all look like dudes. When they came out in front of the stage, everyone was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right, yeah.
So, I don't know if you know this, but it's not even just physical attributes. It's mental physique as well. Like, guys actually have quicker reflexes than girls. It's not like it's an insane hike up, but guys.
I think it was Crowder. I heard was talking about men have more of the fast twitch muscle tissue.
Yeah, we do. Our mind can read.
That's a fact.
Our eyes can schedule what's happening to us quicker than a female can. So.
Right, but your fast twitch doesn't work if your muscles don't have the density either. So I mean, you can have a little bit faster reflexes, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. With the muscle density, it won't matter because muscles, or what's happening is it's kind of like hydraulics. Basically, your muscle is being hardened. It hardens itself to pull the ligaments and the bones together, right? So it won't matter about any other shit if the density is the same. If you have the same density, because that you can look. When you look at fucking Leah Thomas, whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Dude, her shoulders are bigger than mine, dude. Right. Straight up.
Right, exactly. That is a fucking grown ass man. That is, and it's disgusting.
I guess I mean
it's disgusting because you have this grown ass man, and what's worse about it is the fact that he has competed.
And
like professional male level.
He went from 462. Yeah, 462 to fucking first.
To breaking all the records, just like, that's why you were.
Oh my god, dude, it's so fucking.
Jeez, dude, it is so
stupid, man.
It is at this point. It's vulgar and disgusting. It's just like fucking, just come on. If they don't, and that's like I said, there's nothing we're gonna say or do to convince anybody. Nobody's ever gonna fucking hear that shit and change their mind on it. If their mind is already made up, it's not gonna happen.
Well,
just don't think that way. So
let's go ahead and see. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go and see what happened here, because I really don't know what's going on yet with these Utah lawmakers, but I get a feeling this is gonna just keep going on, man. So
yeah, no, I mean they're gonna fight and hamstring anything anything against the agenda, and it's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I think it's not so. At first glance, it's weird that it's happening in Utah, but when you think a little bit deeper about it, Utah is predominantly Mormon. Their government, local and state, it's a lot of Mormons.
And even then, dude, like,
whatever, I don't give a shit. What I'm saying is that the Mormons are kind of a fringe, slightly outcasted sect of Christianity, and they might see an ally in the LGBTQ community to get some of their own agenda passed.
Well, dude, they commit heresy, man. They straight commit heresy.
Well, I mean, by every definition of the word, understanding and interpretation, yes, but at the same time, like, I don't know, if they can follow the basic stuff, all the other things that they do, that's really fucking weird. I don't know. I mean, I can't. It's unfortunate. It's heresy and apostasy, by every definition, by other Christians. And I'm not saying to persecute them, but anything like that. It's just like, I'm saying they're a group of people who have an ideology that is kind of it's on the fringes, and there's another group of people that they can ally with who's on the fringes, who seem to have a lot of power. So it's just like with Mitt Romney. He's a fucking rhino. What do you think he planned? He wanted to join forces because he knew his fucking days were numbered anyway, because he sucked. So that's why he turncoated. And I think that's what's kind of happening in Utah, is that you have people who are like, well, we want to get our stuff passed, and the only way we're going to do it is by buddying up with the people in power, and the people in power are all massively LGBTQ, fucking everything under the sun friendly, but white, Christian, or
these adrenochrome motherfuckers, dude, straight up. Well, let's go and see what happened here, because like I said, I don't really know what happened, so I'm gonna... Alright, it's InfoWars, so I am going to try and change the language so that it's not so partisan, and that way we can just get the direct shit, because just like CNN and how fucking partisan they are, and they put shit where it's like, that's an opinion, that's not a fact. InfoWars is guilty of doing the same shit. So...
Oh, yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have some kind of bias, but... thing is can you get all of the actual facts? And that's why it's good to look at both the left and the right, because there'll always be something that one says that the other doesn't, and that would probably ends up being true or whatever, even if it's a minor detail. So
well, let's see what happened
here. It's good to cross-reference,
because the main line says, Rhino Governor Spencer Cox defended his veto, claiming he acted out of kindness, mercy, and compassion for transgender athletes. What about for actual females competing? So I'm guessing what he did was, I can only assume, and like I said, I haven't read this yet. I can only assume that Utah lawmakers were trying to make it so males couldn't go into female sports. The governor vetoed it, and the Senate was still over to override it up in Utah. So let's see. The Republican supermajority Utah legislature has voted to override Governor Spencer Cox's veto of a bill banning males from performing women's sports. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. There's a video on it, but I don't think there's a point in seeing the video. The House voted 56-18, and the Senate voted 21-8 to override Spencer's veto on Friday, clearing the way for the bill to take effect on July 1st. Wow. So it looks like the people of freaking Utah were not having any of this shit, man.
Yeah.
And most people I know aren't having any of this shit, dude. Like, I'm sorry. The ones... All right, let's say when I'm, like, on Facebook, for example, or Twitter, the ones who I see defending this fucking bill are the ones who've never played sports once in their life.
Oh, what's this saying? You're probably wondering why a 54-year-old cisgender male who's out of shape and hasn't played sports is up here speaking. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of young women. Yeah, see what this tweet is. That tweet you got at the bottom that is pulled up there.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. You're probably wondering why a 50-year-old cisgender male who's out of shape and has not played sports is up here speaking.
It's not discrimination, it's biology.
Because of a lot of women afraid to raise their... Man, dude, a lot of women are scared to raise their voice because the left has gone so batshit crazy, dude, that if you don't agree with anything they say, they will fucking attack you, dude. It's pretty disgusting. So, let's see what happened on this one real quick. Oh, it's just a short. Yeah, it's just a short video of them. All right, here's another one. As the rally wrap, protesters of HB 11 changed trans rights to human rights. Which, dude, trans rights, human rights, whatever. What about the females? Don't they get rights too?
No, human rights are trans rights. What they're pushing as trans rights right now aren't. They're infringing on the liberty and happiness of other groups of people.
Exactly,
that's
man.
Obvious. So
Now,
they're taking rights away from other people for their own, to have their own right to do something.
and that's something because
Anybody who can't see that is worse than ignorant. They're woefully, willingly ignorant, man.
Because look, man, I'm not Republican. I've never been Democrat. I guess because of the way, well, you know how I am, man. That I fall
You're Republican. You're Mexican.
I fall left on certain issues, and then I fall really far right on other issues. So it doesn't matter. It's like I said, why is it that if you're a Democrat, you have to go as far fucking left as you possibly can, and if you're Republican, then you got to go all right? Like this whole identity politics is stupid, man.
They eat their own. If you don't toe the line, you don't get to be a part of the club. That's the fact.
Now let's
and the
see
club
what
is cool, man,
here.
because it seems like the whole point of the club is to get rich and then be a pedophile. Like, that's the whole thing. It's just
exactly.
All of it just leads up to being a pedophile.
The
This
child,
is what it all seems like.
The kid fuckers, dude, and they're all over the fucking place. They're all the way up into our federal government, into the alphabet agencies, all the way down to local government.
Oh, let me tell you something about kid fuckers. They done been around forever, and this just didn't start now. It's been going on for hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There's a reason why there was a schism when people realized, like, hey, like, we're all, like, a lot smarter and more aware now. Look at the kids. They started to realize the gap and difference of understanding and cognition. And we're like, oh, well, that's why, you shouldn't have sex with kids because it's fucking wrong. It fucks them up.
Yep.
So don't do that. And that's all these sick fucks want to do. And fucking you find every single one of them with their hand in the cookie jar. It's like with the Ghislaine Maxwell case. Fucking not going to release a single name. That list should be forced out by popular demand. I think that's one thing everyone on the left and right can agree on. We're not trying to crucify Ghislaine. I hope she gets sentenced fairly, whatever.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
a fucking scumbag. But what I'm saying is I want to know who fucking created the demand to have someone provide the supply she was supplying. Who created that demand? Because it's not like she was walking around and was like, hey, anybody want to molest this kid? No, that's not what was happening. This is something that was planned. And like I said, she is a symptom of the disease. She's not the disease itself. Her and Jeffrey Epstein can be replaced. There's probably dozens.
There are dozens of more islands, and that's the thing is that I still think that it wasn't Epstein who was actually in charge of all this shit. I think Ghislaine Maxwell was actually the head dog, and I think Epstein was a side man.
I don't think she is. I think she's a lackey of someone else. And like I said, it's where is the demand for the product that she's supplying? Where is that demand coming from? Find the demand.
That's why
that's
went
more important than and I guess some of that can be misled. That's I think where the war on drugs came from. But those people want to do drugs. Well, you bust the drug dealers, you leave the users alone. It's very simple. Bust the people who produce it, smuggle it, and do other criminal organized crime. Take that down. Don't even worry about some fucking dude who's growing his own weed or whatever. Like if someone's making coke or meth or something, go after him. But what I'm saying is with them, with Ghislaine or whatever, their part in it I see as less bad than the people who created the demand, the people who committed the acts. Yeah, Ghislaine, they set it up. But what did she actually do it? Did she go and hold a knife to someone? Maybe she did. What I'm saying is while the acts were happening,
I'm sure they did
there was
a lot
another
worse.
party. There was another party that paid money for those acts to happen. They need to be held accountable. They need to be publicly exposed.
And that's how you can tell this whole thing was a sham, man. I mean, the fucking...
If you convicted her with that testimony, and that testimony contained the names of people, and those people obviously had to commit the fucking crime, if the testimony's true and she's convicted on it, then those people committed it too, then those people are also fucking guilty automatically. They need to have a trial. And that's what's so fucked up about this is like, it just shows they have no intentions of arresting anyone who is a customer.
Oh hell
And
no, dude.
oh yeah,
that's
we
why
the evil Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine. There's no one else like that on the planet Earth.
That's
Fuck
why
it
the
out of
judge
here,
went and
man.
sealed away all the files, dude. Like even after Ghislaine Maxwell was charged, they went and they sealed all the files of who her customers were, which is what everyone was trying to figure out. Now we already know that fucking bitch ass Bill Clinton was part of it. We know that people like John Roberts were part of it. We know a lot of people who were part of it, but just because it's like I said, just because you're on Epstein's flight log doesn't necessarily mean anything right off. But in this case, it's weird, man.
Well, I would say if it's more than twice. I would say 2 is the leeway for the Lolita Express. If you were on it more than twice, you're something real fucking wrong.
That name, dude, the Lolita Express, it's so
That's
bad.
the actual name. That's its fucking call sign.
I know.
Sure.
I know it is the Lolita Express. I'm just saying it's just the irony in that it's unbelievable, man.
It's not even ironic. They're doing it right in front of people's faces and getting away with it. They're laughing at us because we haven't done anything about it. And no one's going to do anything about it. It's
All
gonna
right.
keep happening.
Now, this next video I'm going to show, do you think this is against the bill or for the bill allowing transgenders in women's sports? I honestly can't tell yet. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Well, dude, first things first. There are American flags. There's visible American flags.
Oh, yeah, so I can only assume. Yeah, you're right.
It's a little too red, white, and blue to be Democrat, man.
Yeah, you're right. They fucking hate our flag. They think our flag's racist. Think the Constitution's racist.
Yeah.
So let's see exactly what happened here. It's a really short video. It's only 8 seconds.
Just read.
And look at that, dude. And straight up, the ones I've seen show up to try and protect all this shit are they're mostly Antifa members, and we know a bunch of Antifa members are a bunch of child diddlers to begin with, and they're all mentally ill. So you know, fuck Antifa, dude. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, you can shoot 2 random Antifa members and fucking what was it? You got a fucking just like with Kyle Rittenhouse, you got a pedo and a wife beater, a woman beater. Like, I bet you could throw a rock into a crowd of Antifa 9 out of 10 times and hit a fucking pedo. I guarantee you 9 out of 10 times.
Not even joking. So. Let me see. What was I going to do? Oh, here we go. That's all. Oh, never mind. It's already done.
Bro, I'm about to savage this bratwurst.
Do it up, dude. All right, let's go ahead and finish this. There's only one more fucking paragraph left. The American Civil Liberties Union vowed to sue over the bill protecting women's sports. We are deeply disappointed and saddened at today's votes by the Utah legislature to discriminate against transgender youth to exclude them from participating fully on sports teams. Well, what about the fucking women, dude? Yeah, the ACLU is a joke, but what about the real fucking women? Where the fuck are the pedophiles? Or not the pedophiles? Where the fuck are the feminists?
Where are the pedophiles at? The pedophiles meet around.
Like, dude, the feminists. I'm not even joking, dude. Back in the day when now that we need feminists, they're nowhere to be fucking found. They're absolutely nowhere to be fucking found.
Well, yeah, no, because the feminist is it's a fake word. Feminist is just another word for dirtbag, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't, just like diversity and horse shit.
And another ironic thing, dude, most of the male feminists actually they're wife beaters. They're very they're physically assault they physically assault their girls a lot. So let me see. This thing's almost done. Let me see. Litigation to stop HB 11 from taking place is now both necessary and inevitable to ensure constitutional promises of equal protection to all Utahns. Senator Kurt Bramble, Republican from Provo, responded that protecting women and girls' rights to compete in fair play fields outweigh threats of legislation. I mean, I'm trying to see what he means by that. But since this is a senator who I'm guessing voted against it, dude, I mean, you wrestled in high school, right?
Hmm?
I wrestled in high school, dude. Even times that I went up against the girls who had won state before, it would be over so quick. It was over fast, man, because they do not have the speed and the reflexes and the muscle and the whole physique to beat a guy, man.
Right, no, and it doesn't feel right. There's no way. If you were going to put me in a competition of physical prowess against a female, I would forfeit. I would refuse to compete against a female. I wouldn't do it.
Honestly, dude, I would have done it if I were these girls.
It's not because I'm worried about embarrassment. If it was wrestling or like UFC, I'm not going to traumatize myself with that. Beating on a fucking helpless woman or wrestling her, like if I went full fucking bore on a woman, are you shitting me? Like that, dude, it like even fucking like Ronda Rousey, like I'm sure she could probably fuck me up a little bit, but like if I hit that woman in the head with the fucking haymaker, that'd probably kill her, dude. I'd probably detach her fucking retinas.
Yeah, straight up, dude. I mean, she'd be able to get a good punches on you. She might be able to get you on a tap out, but if you get one good hit on her, that's it.
No, probably. Well, and that's the thing. Like with the tap out, there's no way she could get me a tap out. I mean, I could probably lift up her entire body with one fucking arm. You know, that's what I'm saying. Is like there's a massive difference. Like, yeah, she could strike. I'm a great striker. You know, but it just doesn't matter if you have a fucking. I mean, my arm weighs twice as much as her fucking head. You know, and I'm throwing it at her. I could throw a fucking, punch at about 90 miles an hour. It's gonna knock her the fuck out. It doesn't matter how much she's trained. It is literally equals MC squared, dude. Like you have a less dense, lighter object being impacted by an object that is much denser and much larger. What do you think's gonna happen?
Fucking Jirok just posted. Drago Biden. Come on, turfs. Where are you at? Where are you? Oh, I'm guessing he's wondering where. I wonder if he wants to join the stream. If he wants
Jirok was watching.
Yeah, he's watching. If he wants to join the stream, just well, hold up. Let me just message him real quick. Let me see. Yeah, man, this whole shit with the female sports is absolutely fucking ridiculous, man.
Dude, it's retarded. It's a retarded conversation to even be having. We shouldn't be having it.
No, yeah, we really should not, man. Hold up, give me just 1 second and let me message Jer and see what happens.
Jer Binks.
Jer Binks.
It's just a little ginger Canadian kid.
Whatever, I'll see if he messages back me here in a bit. Either way, man, this whole thing is turning ridiculous. Spencer defended the veto following the override claim, claiming that he had acted. Oh, I read that. All right, look at this. Again, remember they say always trust the experts? Look at what this fucker says. I must admit, I am not an expert on transgenderism. I struggle to understand so much of it, and the science is conflicting. That's because it's not something we were supposed to do. That is really playing God, man. When in doubt, however, I always try and err to the side of kindness, mercy, and compassion. And now, again, they're putting these fucking dudes... Which in Leah Thompson's case, he didn't cut off his genitals. I think he did some hormone therapy, but the guy would fuck me up in swimming. Let me put it that way.
Well, yeah, but okay, let's dissect what this guy's saying a little bit. Okay, I'm not an expert on it. Yeah, because no one is, because it's not real. Transgenderism doesn't exist. It is retarded to think so. I mean, it just doesn't. There is no realm in reality where there is just any scientific evidence to support it. It's it's at best it's a fringe theory. But what he says, go back up, yeah, what he says at the end, his last thing.
Yeah. Let me see.
He says they're great kids who face enormous struggles. Now here's the problem. They face their own struggles, and now their struggles are becoming a weight and a burden for others to bear.
Exactly.
So that makes them look really bad too, because they're forcing other women who don't have the issue that they have, okay? They're forcing them to deal with with their problems. Their problem not being able to accept the fact that they're a man. They are a man, no matter how much. It will never change that. They can feel like a woman inside all they want.
You still got that Y chromosome, man.
Yeah, there will never not be a man. You can mutilate your genitals in whatever fashion you like. You will still be a man. You will still be the body of a man. You will still have DNA coded for a man to produce testosterone and a dick and balls. And it's fucking, come on. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It looks like Jirok wants to join us. What do you think? Should I invite him in?
I don't know. I don't like Canadian people.
I'll invite him. I don't give a fuck. Let me just let me see. God damn it, dude. That's the one thing I hate about fucking Gilded, is that it's a little harder to traverse. Oh, there we go. That should do it. Let me see. For some reason, I am trying to... Give me 1 sec real quick, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm just still cooking this bratwurst, dude. It's gonna be tasty.
Gotcha. Alright, there we go. Yeah, let me set it up so you can come in. That way we don't have any surprise guest.
Oh man. Ugh.
Yeah, dude, the amount of shit I've been seeing lately is it's pretty intense, man. Like, just sometimes I look at the clown world we're in, and I'm just like, this is just getting out of hand. It's getting way out of hand.
Yeah. It's been out of hand for a long time, and it's just not, obviously not an easy way back. At the rate we're going in terms of decline, like, we've got to stop the decline and then figure out how to bring ourselves back up too. We've got a monumental task ahead of us.
And dude, I saw this post on Facebook the other day. I'll have to find it. But one of my fucking friends, like, he started working on some smoke shop a while back, and since then, he's changed a lot. He's become really fucking woke. His ideas are all weird. He's all for socialism and hates capitalism, and he's always just talking shit. And every time that happens, I always tell him, like, yo, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And the other day, he posted this long retweet, or this long share from Facebook that was talking about how when Leah Thompson first joined, that she was, getting like 30th, 35th place, and how she had to work her way to the top, which I'm just like, that's even sadder. If you're a male swimmer who's 160 is 462, you should be much higher than 30s and women's, man.
And here's the thing about that, regardless of whether it's true or not. How easy or how difficult would it be for him to have, pulled his punches, basically?
Yeah, exactly.
And slowly put his foot on the gas. Because they had to know ahead of time. They knew ahead of time. They probably checked him and were like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're going to break every single record. You have got to go in and, perform at half the pace. And that's the thing. If that is true, then that is exactly what happened. He sandbagged his way from, to make it look legit, like he worked his way through. And that's something that they guarantee these people are sociopaths. They knew about that beforehand.
Oh, of course, man. I mean, there literally is no other way to fucking put it. Well, let's go on to this next one about the plan that Bill Gates originally set out, and let's see what the fuck this dumb shit has to say about it this time.
Oh, I don't want to hear Bill Gates' stupid ass voice.
No, Bill Gates isn't gonna. He's not gonna say anything. By the way, hey, what's going on, Jirok?
Now I can hear your stupid voice, you little turd.
Nah, he's muted, so, yeah, Jirok, you're gonna have to go to fucking settings and fix all that shit.
The fuck you say about Canadians, bud?
I say a lot of negative things about Canadians, dude.
Constantly. Constantly, man.
Anyways, man, yeah, look at this new, and this one I had read a few months ago, but I was like, ooh, man, are they really gonna do this? But never doubt any of the shit that fucking Klaus Schwab, that fucking the WHO, the WEF, the UN, anything put past us. Scientists developing controversial, contagious vaccines that spread from vaccinated to unvaccinated. And dude, there's video out there. If you go and look it up, you can literally see videos of Bill Gates talking about coming up with a vaccine where even those who don't want it are going to get it anyways because it's going to spread like a virus.
Yeah,
So,
I wonder, that is something that's on the level of catastrophe as a nuclear weapon, right?
yeah.
So I would wonder if there would be, I'd be curious, and I would have to assume that this would happen, but some kind of extraterrestrial response, like when the nuclear missiles got armed.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine this motherfucker trying to do something and just some aliens, like, basically kicking the door in and, like, smashing everything and be like, cut your shit, asshole. You know?
Well,
just,
man.
like, bitch Bill Gates around, like, that's what they should, that's what I would hope they would do.
And dude, Bill Gates was talking about this like 3 or 4 months ago. He was talking about this like last year. And I was like, there's no fucking way he would do it. Would he do it? And now that I've seen that he'll do it, I'm not putting past anything across these globalist motherfuckers, dude. These fools are evil and they want humanity down.
Yeah, they want anybody who's free thinking or at the very least contrary to their beliefs. They want them dead.
Yeah.
They want them to not exist, and if by not exist means killing them, which it does, then they're gonna kill and breed out all opposition because they can't face it head on. There's no way they can do it in a conventional way, and people are just sitting around letting it happen.
Well,
it's like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna keep smoking weed and watching dumbass fucking TV shows.
Popping pills and freaking going to strip clubs. Or sleeping around on Tinder if you're a chick. Alright, so let's see exactly what happened. Yeah, or a dude. Yeah, some dudes can do it. Alright, so let's see what's going on.
Titty bars.
Scientists are currently
on fucking Twitch.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the worst one. It's like why would you go to Twitch to literally beat your meat to a girl in a hot tub playing video games? Like, what is the point? Really, what is the point? I've never understood it, dude. Degeneracy is just getting worse and worse and worse.
You do a fucking special episode being a coomer for a day.
Coomer for a day, dude. Oh, God.
Try out being a coomer for a day.
That would get so bad,
That'd be a good video, dude. That would go viral.
It would. I bet it would.
You wouldn't get shit for it.
Coomer for a day, but I don't know, man. And the sad thing is that part of it might work with the way some women are in my city. I know the same deal with the women in your city. It's just fucking ridiculous. Either way, let me go and see exactly what's going on with this thing. Scientists are currently developing self-spreading vaccines aimed at infecting others from vaccinated to unvaccinated populations. The controversial research by several groups of scientists are developing these contagious vaccines for Ebola. Ooh, man, and I know the last time they released an Ebola vaccine, it fucked people up. Bovine tuberculosis and Lassa fever in animals with the hopes of decreases will be less transmissible from animals to humans. Now, it's like I said, dude, earlier when I was talking to you, doesn't this go against the Nuremberg Code? Like, if they're literally releasing a vaccine into the air that is contagious, like, they're giving you some sort of medical treatment you can't do anything about. They're forcing you, essentially.
It is a crime against humanity. I don't think it's going to happen. And most likely, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's coming, but like, I would assume before they're able to achieve the full fruition of their plans, there's going to be some serious backlash.
Oh, big time,
Something
man.
that you're not going to be able to roll up with like, a couple hundred riot police and maybe get a couple hundred other police from out of town. Like, no, you're going to have like, probably a couple 100,000 armed and very angry Americans in every single city across the country who just aren't going to take shit. you know, and fucking have Antifa come up and try to throw a firework into the crowd and get the entire group of Antifa just gunned down immediately. Like, that's the type of shit that's in the future.
Antifa needs to go, man. Those fucking assholes are dangerous,
man. They
think
it's a game. Well, what I'm saying is, dude, they are dangerous, but they are not as nearly as dangerous as the people they're trying to kill.
No.
And they're gonna find that out. And like I said, one time you have a group of 50 Antifa roll up to a couple hundred armed Americans, throw a firework in it, and get, there's gonna be 45
obliterated, man.
And Antifa members and 5 others probably screaming, crying, and mentally disturbed for the rest of their life. And they're not ready for that. But that is what's coming. That is there's going to be massive casualties. There's going to be a lot of people.
Big time, dude. I already got the feeling about the perfect fucking. I already have that exact feeling about the jab that's about to happen. I'm still waiting to see, man. And here's the thing. I don't want the people who've been jabbed. I don't want anything bad to happen to them, man. But they rushed this thing so quick that it's like, fuck, man. You didn't even look up how the vaccine worked before you went and fucking took it.
Right. Yeah. It's it's just silliness, dude. It's that mob mentality, and that's why for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I've laughed in the face of everyone who says the word democracy. I could give a shit less about democracy.
Yeah, so can I, man.
And mob rule can eat a dick all day long. What's good for you and what's good for 7 other people is not necessarily good for me and the other 2. Like, get the fuck out of here. We don't need your shit. And you need to be able to create a system that has enough commerce and free-flowing, business and trade, that if a person, if people find themselves in the wrong place, they can move, take their business elsewhere,
Now let me read these last. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
I'm gonna finish the last 2 little paragraphs here. They're real short, just so I can go ahead and move on to the next story. The vaccine would essentially be a genetically recombinant virus that infects anybody within close enough proximity to the inoculated person.
Inoculated, yeah.
So one person could potentially spread the vaccine to many other suspecting people, and that's why I said Nuremberg literally says that you are not subject to any medical procedure that you do not agree with. And that, right. I mean, dude, what would be the difference between spreading a virus out and spreading this shit out? Like, I really don't see a difference at all.
No, there isn't. And it's a complete crime against humanity. And like I said, I don't believe it's gonna come to fruition. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well,
they might try, but that's something that, like, if that's released and you start seeing it affect people, like, I think there's a certain point in all this, like I've been saying, and like everyone knows, we won't start, but there's a certain point where the shooting's going to start. Shooting's going to start, and it's not going to matter what Bill Gates or anyone says anymore. It's going to matter what Joe Biden says. It's going to matter what the local cops say. What's going to matter is fucking you banding together with the people who are, obviously the same morality as you. And it's going to be very fucking dangerous. But it's what's going to have to happen. When you dilute the identity of a country as badly as you have over the last 30 years in this one, fracturing into a bloody, chaotic, ideological, racial, and religious war. I mean, that's what's about it. People are like, oh, it's going to be a race war. It's going to be ideological. It's going to be over energy or oil or blah. No, it's going to be all of it at once. That's the fucked up thing. That's why they've atomized everyone and fractured all of the groups, because they want to see us all kill each other. They want to see as many of us die as possible, left or right, it doesn't matter. And the thing is what we recognize with the people on the left is that these are willing slaves. These are people walking to their deaths, and our deaths too. We're gonna have to fight them most likely, and it's sad that people don't fucking listen.
It's just how it goes, man. What can I say? Honestly, I really don't see it getting fixed anytime soon. They're gonna try and push this thing and push it because ultimately, dude, they have money, and people are like, you got so much money, what else more could you want? It's always power. People who have enough money to say, like, fuck you money, they can straight up just oh god,
you can't really buy Donald Trump. We'll give you $400 billion. Like, that's what's probably what it takes.
$100 billion. Well, speaking of Trump, Yeah, let's get into the next one of him going off on this lawsuit against Clinton and everybody else. Like, I don't know if you saw the list. He's suing everybody for all of that fucking slandering they gave him in 2016.
Good.
Dude, everybody. So, let's see. Former President Donald Trump is holding a Save America rally in Commerce, Georgia on Saturday following the announcement of his bombshell lawsuit against Hillary Clinton and her deep state cohorts for pushing years-long Russian collusion. And here's the funny thing, is that after all those years, remember that the Democrats will try and project whatever it is they're guilty of on you. And later on, we ended up finding out that, yeah, it was actually Hillary who was working with a fucking Russian group on the 2016 election.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's
I mean, I really hope he goes well. I mean, a lot of people are saying, you know, it depends on the judge, but there's a reason why I think he left New York and he went back to Florida. And I'm sure him being him and knowing the lawyers he knows, he's going to make sure to at least get a fair fucking shot at it, man. But even like I was telling you earlier, dude, they've been trying to find trash on him for how long, and they caught that one line of him saying, grab him by the pussy, right? But these were women who threw themselves at rich men and didn't fucking care. It's not like he was assaulting the girls.
Well, at least in my experience, who knows exactly what his context was and the exact situation was happening in, but I always thought it was funny because, that's a fact. There are situations where that's what you got to do. They want you to do that, but they're not going to say it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference too. That's another thing. Obviously there are people. There's a very specific sequence of events that lets you know it's time for that business. So that's why it's funny because it is real. I have done that, and I definitely was all consensual. There was no speaking that was needed, and that's just a situation that happened. Did it fucking? I'm sure it's happened with plenty of others. And it's just how it goes. It's just part of fucking human mating. Don't tell us how to fuck. Don't tell us how to fuck. You know what I mean? If the girl came and said, "Oh, well, I didn't want it, and I didn't want it," who's saying it? You know what I mean? Just like with the Stormy Daniels bullshit. What a fucking joke. Like, what a just straight lying piece of garbage she was.
It's stupid, man. And I mean, I'm just gonna call it what it is.
Him $300,000, bro. Stormy Daniels has got to pay Trump $300K. That's so epic.
It's fucking
what
great.
A stupid bitch.
It's great, man. Now, the last two, we got two more left that I just want to kind of get your opinion about. And this one I kind of got to go through because it's not that long of a story, but clearly. Oh man, that's the one thing is that
we gotta cover this one.
Yeah. So,
there's some
how I hacked
motivation.
How I hacked Tinder and dated 15 men in 21 days. With the Twitter swindle, a blockbuster success on Netflix, one number of women are wary of matching a man online. But one Australian woman says Tinder is the perfect place to meet Mr. Right, and is revealing the simple trick she uses to maximize chances on her success of the app. Helen Chick, who hails from Sydney, says dating is simply a numbers game and boost that she had Twitter dates with 15 different men during the recent 3-week trip to New York City. And now here's the deal. That's her experience. Women have much, much different experiences on Tinder than men, dude. Men will literally do what they can. Women can be very, very fucking picky.
Oh, yeah. Every single girl's going to have a list of, probably a good dozen compatible matches, and every guy's going to probably have, maybe one or two girls that...
For every 100 that look to him, it's ridiculous.
But there's some, obviously there's a richer guy or something. There's somebody with more money or something else more at stake that they're more interested in. It's a sad shit show. I don't know. I've tried to do it. I've tried to get involved with the online dating and fucking it's just hookups. That's all it is. It's nothing but casual sex, and that's what you're looking for. Okay, that's great. But
even the New York Post said it. They called her a serial dater.
Right, yeah.
So, it's just how it goes, man. I mean, watch. It's very short. The serial dater who has penned the book Sex, Swipes, and Other Stories divulged how she managed to meet so many men in such a short period of time during an interview on the podcast, Sort of Kind of Dating. Now, again, I see this person, and like I said, remember, guys have their shoulders are wider than their hips, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's very obviously
it's a dude.
Very obviously a tranny, but yeah.
And that's the thing, is that I've been looking for it everywhere, and just people are claiming it. So let me see. Chick declared that everything comes down to time and urge Tinder users do not procrastinate while on the app. Time is one thing you can't get back, so that's why I'm on a very big time. That's why I'm very big on time and efficiency, she stated. I mean, again, I haven't seen anywhere that she used to be a male that she used. Well, it's still a male, but we got the you know what I mean. But usually they
Not exactly,
say that.
But it's all weird.
Chick has booked about her dating experience titled Pen and the Book, Sex, Swipes, and Other Stories. Knowing she is coming from the Big Apple, Chick exchanged her location set into New York City before she even left Sydney. And honestly, dude, that's the thing, is that I had to find this out from Twitter that it was actually a dude. Now, honestly, it really doesn't have to do with her tits here, dude, because I've seen girls with small boobs who, I'd still hit up.
Well, it's just the fact that if you cut everything else away and look at the face, it's very obviously an Asian man.
the shoulders, the Adam's apple, and the size of the hands.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So,
however,
how
dude,
it goes,
it's been
man.
almost an hour and a half. I'm getting sleepy, man. I don't know how much more I can do.
Nah, it's no worries. We got one left about Elon Musk and his and him trying to buy Twitter, which I think we were talking about this earlier, man. And we straight up said that that if we had fuck you type of money like Elon Musk, I would be trolling the hell out of the world, man. I mean, he's projected to be the world's first trillionaire.
Yeah, probably.
And I mean, I wouldn't mind it, man. I mean, I would not mind the first African American the first person to be a trillionaire, an African American. You know what I mean? Oh my
fucking Elon
God,
Musk,
dude.
man.
Let me
What
see.
a ridiculous case.
Tesla co-founder and CEO Elon Musk wondered aloud on Twitter whether another platform is needed, causing millions of followers to call him by the social media giant. Given that Twitter serves as a de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles and fundamentally under entitlements for democracy, Musk tweeted Saturday what should be done. In a follow-up post, Musk asked, "Is a new platform needed?" Now, here's the deal, man. A lot of people are complaining about the other ones out there, and I like I said, I haven't gotten Truth Mobile a chance, but that's because Twitter works so smoothly. The other ones are a little bit strange when it comes to fixing them up. Twitter's just nice and simple and nice and easy to go through, but I want to see how Truth Social is. The problem is that they only released it for Apple. They haven't released a desktop version or a fucking Android version, so a lot of people are stuck not being able to get in, which I'm guessing they did as a beta test. Because I know the first weekend they were up, they were having quite a bit of problems.
Hard to say. I don't know much about any of it at all.
Yeah, man, straight up. I mean, that's just that's what I would do, man. I would straight up just, if I had that much money, if I had fuck you money, I would play jokes on everyone. It's like, what did you say earlier about the UPS drivers?
Oh yeah. Like if I was a multi-millionaire, I'd spend like $2 million to fucking send fucking boxes of lead to every single like zip code in the area where my friend worked to guarantee that he'd get like a truckload of boxes of lead. Like,
and then you ought to,
so
dude. You
and
could always
like
make it an extra.
Fucked up,
you could always get the lead shifted to look like a dong or like a like a
just
veg
a bunch
or
of
something, dude.
sculptures of
Yeah, a
dongs.
bunch of lead.
No, you had me at dong,
dongs.
man. That's what it is. I will ship hundreds, if not thousands, of lead sculptures of dogs. Through my friend's city where he's a UPS delivery driver. So he's got to deliver fucking lead dong to like 50 houses.
Oh my god, dude, that's so bad. Oh,
I'm going to hell, man. Dude, my headset's about to die too, so dude, I think I'm just gonna get off of here.
Yeah, no worries, man.
I'm pretty tired.
For right now, the stream is up anyways. I pretty much just went over what I wanted to go over. That was everything.
No, we're good.
If anything, I might. Well, no, I'll do this another time because right now we don't seem to be very busy on YouTube. I'll see how it does tomorrow. Yeah. So essentially, don't even worry about it. Hold on, give me 1 second.